What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a new episode of One on One. And when you see one on one up here, you know I'm really having like a one on one conversation with some of your favorite content creators, some of your favorite music artists. Hey, Sharissa, some of your favorite reality stars, or maybe some of your favorite web series stars. Whichever one is gonna be, that's what we're here to do over here on One on One. Now, on this week's episode of One on One, I got a certain somebody here that went viral a couple of weeks ago. It was at a Texas graduation where it was a violent brawl between him and his father. And today he's here to tell his story, but not just only to talk about that, but to talk about other things that he may have going on in his life. And hey, I am the person that was chosen to have that conversation with him, and I am more than honored to have him on here. But I don't want him to be just known as the boy that was on the thing. No, we're gonna call him Double D, okay? Because that's what he wants to be called, Double D. So we're gonna refer to him as Double D and not the boy that went viral. So without any further ado, we're gonna bring Double D on here, and there he is.
What's up? What's goody in the hoodie? What's goody?
What's going on? How you feeling today?
I'm really chilling, Scotty. How you feeling today, Scotty?
It's hot in these Atlanta streets. It's hot, but you know. Okay, so before we get started, I do want to start off by asking, and this is just for us to pretty much foreshadow what we're here to discuss.
Yeah.
What made you want to come on and talk about what you've gone through? Let's start out by doing that.
Well, first of all, Scotty, gotta give you your flowers. You've been doing this for like 16 years going on, so I gotta give you your flowers, first of all. And
Thank
second
you.
of all, yeah, when I looked in the comments and I saw it was a lot of people that was inspired by me, and I saw it's a lot of people over that's all over the world that's going through the same thing that I'm going through, dealing with narcissist fathers, narcissist parents, period, abusive parents that hurt them down. So I saw that it touched a lot of people, and I didn't even know just that little clip. Just that little baby clip touched a lot of people. So that's really made me just get up and just really just talk about it, because other people that need help out here, that went through the same thing. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying this to you before we really get into it. I too grew up in a house with a narcissist. My stepfather was a narcissist. He was hella abusive to us, to me, my sister, my brother, which is his son, and my mother. So I know exactly how it feels to grow up with a narcissist. So that's the thing that we're gonna get into with this whole situation. So we'll talk more about that later on down the line. So, I don't want to start off with that too quickly. But from what I hear, you have a psychology degree. You got a psychology degree, or you're going to school for psychology?
Well, I'm in school right now. For people who didn't know, for psychology, I always wanted, to start my own show to help other people, because I was always a kid that was going through things, and I tried to help other people, because when I was younger, I went through a lot of things in my head, I ain't gonna really say too much, but I went through a lot of things in my head mentally. So, and I saw some of my friends lose their life to that. So my objective turned to go to school to study psychology, so I can save other people, because I couldn't save my friend, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I am a person that's a big advocate for mental health and things like that, because I too have had my own run-ins with self-harm and different things like that. So I think that it's kind of inspiring in a sense for you to want to go to school for psychology, to probably be in that seat to help somebody else that probably, because in a sense you're probably looking at it like, there was nobody really there to help my friends that went through this. So I want to be somebody to help somebody else.
Exactly. Hmm.
And this is why I'm advocating for mental health. This is why I always talk about trauma and different
Yeah.
things like that. It may be a little bit too dark for some people, or it may be too much for some people, but I
Yeah.
always feel like it's a good thing to talk about your
Right.
trauma
It is definitely.
and all of that good stuff. So I think that's a good thing. And I'm gonna start out by saying I really want you to see that through. Like I want you to
Right.
see that through and finish it. Don't be like me and fuck up and don't finish.
Right.
Because
And that's why I do online. Because if I would have stayed on campus, I wouldn't have finished. No shade. Because the time was had and was being had in them dorm rooms. No shade.
well, that's partially why I didn't finish because I was too busy having the time. And I didn't finish. I was skipping
Okay.
class and shit. So
They love to party. No shade.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, as of right now, are you doing like an anti-bullying tour right now? Is that what you're doing right now?
Well, I really don't want to speak on why. Okay, I really don't want to speak on what I'm doing right now because I want everybody to just look on the
Just
internet.
be there with you.
Right, and it's gonna be surprise. It's just gonna be like boom, because it's
Okay.
like, and like on Thursday I will be flying to Atlanta and
Mm-hmm.
seeing a few of my faves and seeing a few of y'all faves. Hooking up with them, talking with them, collabing with them, doing some things with them. But I will not tell y'all who. But just know, stay tuned because the time will be had. No shade, like. Like I'm so excited. No shade. I am excited because a lot of people thought I was gonna be a one trick pony. But baby, hi, I don't mind. Like Pressure said. Like I'm here. Like I don't mind. And y'all thought it was gonna be a one trick pony. I wasn't just gonna go viral and that's it. I'm gonna use it for something else.
Well, that's where I'm gonna go with it now. So let's go here. So a lot of times when people go viral for certain things,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they go viral and then that's it. They just go viral. We don't see them anymore. It's kind of like, and I'm not trying to sound shady when I say this, but it's kind of reminiscent of the guy that was like, "It's above me now. It's above me."
Right.
Everybody was saying it's above me now, but I haven't seen him. We haven't seen or heard from him in years. So
Exactly.
sometimes when people go viral, they take advantage of the viral moment, and they're actually able to go to other places with that. So
Exactly.
when you went viral, you don't have to go all the way into anything else because I know you don't want to talk about like certain stuff that you're doing right now, and you
Right.
want it to be a surprise. So what I'm asking you is, when you went viral, did that change your life going viral?
Definitely did. Definitely. It's the fact that people that I idolize know who I am. And
Mm.
I was not expecting that, but it's people that I idolize be like, oh my God. Like I'll be like, I'm idolizing you, but they coming up to me, especially at the Zeus event. They coming up to me like I'm the one that like they like me. I'm like me, you. But it's like I'm like, wow, like it's a lot that I wasn't used to. I'm just not. I gotta get used to that. You see what I'm saying? So it definitely changed my life a lot, like a lot, especially out here in Dallas. I got to get out of Dallas, but it changed my life. It changed my life a lot, and I'm just going up from here. It's no going backpedaling. I can't backpedal now. I got to keep going. So it's just going up from here.
Well, okay. So people know you now. So how does that feel? Being somebody that went viral and everybody knows them, because I could tell you from experience,
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Mississippi. So when I moved here to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
August gonna make 2 years ago when I moved here. When I
Yeah.
moved here to Atlanta, I like back home, people would notice me, but
Yeah.
here I'm noticed all the time.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to take that or accept that, but
Right.
I accept it, but I don't know how to really accept it because I just feel like I'm a regular person like everybody else is. I'm just, so I was
Literally.
asking you that to ask you, like, when people come to you and they know who you are, like, what does
Mhm.
that make you feel like when people
Well,
notice
since
you?
I was always raised to be humble, like so it's like I'm not used to people trying to glorify me or put me on a stool because I feel like all glory to God. Like, you see what I'm saying? So when people do come to me, you know, I take my little picture with them, cheese, what's up, whatever. The graduation, still handing out diplomas, whatever. But then I always encourage them and give them a word too, because it's not about me. You see what I'm saying? I don't want y'all glorifying. It's not about me. At the end of the day, it's not. Because I just don't. I'm not used to getting. I'm nobody. Like, I just fought my daddy at the graduation in my head. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to everybody else, they feel like, oh yeah, you're an inspiring to me. I've been wanting to do that for so long. You really did it for all of us. They just love me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, thank y'all. But you see what I'm saying? But I'm so humble to the point where I just be like, oh, okay.
Well, I'm glad that you are humble, and I'm gonna tell you just like this. Humility is very important,
Yeah,
and when
very
you are humble, when you're humble, it doesn't mean that you're not confident, and it doesn't mean that you
right,
don't know what you got. It's
right,
just that when you're humble, people want to work with you. When you're humble, people want to do things for you or want to take you to another
right.
level. Nobody wants to work with a person that is cocky and think they know it
Exactly,
all. When you
exactly.
are humble and you're willing to listen and you're taking everything in stride, that is the best way to be. Because I'm gonna tell you
Right.
like this: me being humble is why I am where I am in my YouTube
Like it.
career, as
Right.
we call it. I ain't never, and the thing is, for me as a YouTube content creator, I've been here 16 years, as you said, and I've always been humble. I work with people, whether they're huge,
Uh-huh.
whether they're smaller, whether they're
Yeah,
mid-tier, it doesn't matter. I work with
yeah.
anybody just due to the fact that I don't feel like I'm too big for my britches. I give everybody
Right,
a shot. You know what
right.
I mean? And not everybody's like that. So I like the fact that you are humble, because I do think that even though what happened was a situation where not too many people would want to like condone it,
Right.
or you know or anything like that, but it's a purpose
Right.
behind what happened, and it's a story behind what happened, and that
Exactly.
is the reason why we're here, to go into that
Exactly.
story. So now that we got like the pleasantries on out of the way, let's
Hmm.
get into your story.
Right.
So what is your background with, like, as far as like where you from? Like, you from Texas, right? You from Texas?
Born and raised Dallas. Come on, y'all.
Okay, so you from Dallas. Okay, so let's go back into your childhood on up to what happened at the graduation. Like, how would you describe your childhood with your parents?
Well, I will always start when I was 4 years old. When I was 4 years old, um, I used to see my mom and dad fight all the time. My dad dragging my mom, uh, and a lot of frustration got took out on us. It was times where my mama woke us up in the middle of the night, and she tried to put us in cars to get away from my dad. Um, go up at my granny house. They was just in a toxic relationship, and that's me being 4 years old. Kids are like sponges, so anything that
Yeah,
they see, it just soaks it right on up. And when they see something, it's hard to let it go. That's what parents don't recognize. You see what I'm
they
saying?
don't.
And it fucks. I can cuss on here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I cuss all the time. Say what
yeah,
you feel.
yeah. So it kind of fucks you up. You know what I'm saying? Even in your adulthood or in your teenage stage, because it fucks you up. And when I'm seeing that, I'm seeing my mama get dragged, and I can't do nothing but scream and cry. Don't think just because you change or just because you give your life to Christ, everything changes for everybody around you. No, because I can still remember you dragging my mama. I can still remember you giving my mama a black eye when she woke up and her braids out her head, and she still got to go to work the next day and got to come to us and pick us up from school. You see what I'm saying? I can
Right.
still remember that. So yes, everybody do change, and they change for the better. Well, a little bit, as y'all can see, and they change for the better. But like when I was younger, that's all I saw was toxicity, and I saw us getting beat too.
Okay, so let me pause it right here. So you said that the first time you saw your dad put his hands on your mom, you were like 4, right?
I was 4 years old.
So as I told you before we got started, these type of interviews are not really interviews to me. They're like conversations,
Right.
and I can relate to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you first saw your dad put his hands on your mom when you were 4. The first time I
Yep.
saw my stepfather, ex-stepfather now, put his
Mhm.
hands on my mom, I was like 6 or 7.
Wow.
So it was pretty much around the same time as you saw
Same
your
time.
stuff.
Wow.
And
That's
and, and just like you said, parents are not necessarily aware
mm-mm.
of what they do in front of you and how it affects you. They think because
Definitely.
you're a kid, you don't understand what's going on in front of you.
Exactly.
But as a kid, you know that this is not right. Like for me as a 6 or 7 year old,
Exactly.
you know it's not cool for your stepfather to punch your mom in the face, knock her into a refrigerator, make her fall to the ground, and blood
Wow.
comes out the back of her head. Like,
Wow.
or you know that as a 7 year old, it's snowing outside and it's not right for your stepfather to body slam your mom on the ground and like push her head deep into the snow and then pick you up as well and throw you on the
Wow.
ground when you could have busted your head.
Wow.
So that kind of abuse at a young age will kind of fuck with you mentally. And
Mhm.
I don't know. And I'm gonna ask you this question because I do know that I've realized that it's like a trauma response when me and my brother did the same thing. So as a kid, whenever I heard loud voices or when I heard sudden noises, I would immediately jump up, run into the room where my mother was to make sure nothing was wrong. Or whenever we heard someone speaking loudly or their voice was elevating, we'll always jump up every single time. Did you have those type of things happen, like those type of trauma responses after
Definitely.
it?
Definitely. Even now, I still when I hear people getting loud or if I hear a man voice that just roar, like I still like turn my neck or I still look around to see what's going on. I go in there and check on my granny. You see what I'm saying? But it could be just the mechanic man just loud. And she'd be like, "What you in here for?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I was just coming to check on you." You see what I'm saying? But it's because of what happened to me when I was younger. I'm so used to that. We can relate a lot.
Yeah, I told you we can relate because I lived through that, and
Right.
I know you're much younger than me, so it's kind of like I can relate and kind of give you a little bit of advice or
Yeah.
a little bit of inspiration as we continue to have this conversation. 'Cause that's what I wanted to do because
Yeah.
when I was thinking about how I was going to approach this, I'm like, I'm going to approach this like a older brother of some sort because I think you're like 21, right? You're 21.
I'm 20.
So you 20, okay? You 20 years old. I'm 37. I know I don't look like I am,
You
but I'm
don't.
37. So I got a couple of years
Hmm.
on you. So and I've been through this type of thing before. So I definitely
Yeah.
understand. So as we continue, you were 4 when you first saw it. So it continued as you got older.
Yeah. All the way up till I was 10 years old. And even after I was 10 years old, even while they was in church, it was some scenarios where other shit still happened to where he put up my mom. So I'll say probably up till I was 12.
Did it get Did it get a little worse as you got older? Because sometimes that tends to happen. Once you get a little older, it kind of gets worse because, like, I can say that for me, when I first saw it, I was like 6 or 7,
Hmm.
and when he picked me up and threw me in the street, I was 8. But when he really tried to fight me, I was older. Like, I was like a preteen, like 11, 12 years old when he really was trying to fight me.
Is we talking about the abuse between my mama and him, or the abuse between me and my father?
You and your father.
Oh, baby, that still was going on to that
Yeah.
graduation.
So
That
it
happened.
continued. So this is not something that just stopped and then y'all just got
Like
into it. Like it
that,
continued.
that was a continuous. At the graduation, he was still trying to fight me, as y'all can see. Like, girl, this is me. Not now. You done woke me up. No shade. Now I'm woke. Now I'm
No,
here.
yeah,
And it's no
yeah.
shade because it's been going on, been letting you slide, been letting you, do your thing because I let you do your thing, trying to be respectful, trying to use the Bible to, manipulate me. That I can't, don't not let me fight back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's wrong to hit your parents. It's wrong to do this. Let me tell y'all something. I'm just gonna let it be just like how it is. At the end of the day, if somebody is abusing you over and over again, and you're constantly saying you don't want to touch them, you don't want to hit them, baby, your authority don't mean shit to me. Not a motherfucking thing. That's what I be trying to tell everybody. Like, you got the people in the comments talking about oh, you should have did this. You should have walked off. You shouldn't. Baby, I was sitting all the way over on the other side. Boo. What are we talking about? That man got up and walked over there to where I was. He was all the way on the other side. The fuck? How can you justify that? That's why he went to jail and I didn't. Let's wake it up. Because I've been had police reports on him since back and then. My teachers, the officers that went to my school, they even knew then. That's why they wasn't tripping about nothing. They had reports. They had everything. They text me and asked I was okay. Cause they been saying shit since I was in school. What could you talk about? What are we talking
Okay,
about?
so I just want to make sure I get it correct. So was he like he was into the church?
And the church was making it okay because the pastor of the church
Okay.
ran all his kids off. None of his kids want to come see him either. None of his kids like his ass the fuck either because he threw his kid out when he was 15 years old. He told all his kids that he was gonna fight their ass, and his kids had to go get his homeboys to go jump on him because he was keep beating on their ass too. The fuck? Then you threw your kid out at 15, and then he ended up getting killed in the street. See, that's what I'm saying. This is consequences of what parents do. Nobody want to talk about what parents do. It's always the kid should have done this. The kid should have done that. But what about the parents being held accountable of being a parent? Nobody
No,
wants
I
to.
absolutely agree.
Nobody holds the parents accountable. You see what I'm saying?
They don't, and honestly, just like I can relate to your situation, my mother can relate to your situation because I remember we was talking about when you went viral, we talked about the story. She, her mother was abusive to her. She wasn't raised by her, but she was abusive to her. And my mother had put hands on her own mother at the age of 17.
Wow.
And just like it's pretty much the same story. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's pretty much the same story. You put your hands on your mom or your dad, and then everybody kind of tries to look down and say, well, that's your mama, that's your daddy.
Like,
your day's gonna get cut short. It's this, is that,
wow.
is this, is that. But they're not talking about what led to what happened. Now, nobody's saying that it's right for you to put your hands on your parents, but it's not right for parents to put hands on their kids like that, to beat on their kids like that. Like, parents should be held accountable for being abusive parents.
Exactly.
And we can't keep saying that's your mama, that's your daddy. We can't keep saying that.
Then they want to bring up the Bible this and the Bible that. But baby, let me tell you something. The Bible also says, provoke not your children to wrath. It's a reason why he said that. And then he didn't even say mamas, he said fathers. People don't want to talk about that. But it's a reason why that's in there. He wasn't just talking about fathers either. He was talking about mothers too. But he knew that fathers were going to be the main ones trying to beat on their sons, do all this today. You see what I'm saying? He knew it's always the father and the son mostly, or the mother and the daughter. You see what I'm saying? It's hardly that it's a different sex. It's hardly that it's a different sex. It's always the same gender, or you say the same gender. And that's what really be getting me. Like, y'all want to bring up the Bible this, but y'all, take stuff. Y'all make the Bible fit y'all narrative. But
people do cherry pick.
Yeah. But wrong is right is right. If it's wrong, then it's wrong. And if it's right, then it's right, boo. That's the gag. The gag is, if you're going to read the Bible, let's read the whole Bible, boo, not half of it.
That's facts. That's facts.
That's what it is.
That's facts. So he continued to be violent towards you even as you grew older and things like that. So let's get into, because we're going to come back to this, but what I really want you to explain to the people that are watching is what exactly happened before the graduation to cause this altercation between you and your dad, because I think that people would understand it better if they knew what was going on before that? Because there's always a story behind everything.
Always.
So what happened leading up to that day at the graduation? What was the discrepancy? What was the beef? What happened?
Ooh, y'all should lit up a wood. Okay, so basically, it was a Monday. So notice y'all, the graduation was on. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. So
Yeah.
basically, Scotty, no shady. So the graduation happened on Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Monday is when all this went down. Now, how many days is that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 6 days you had to calm down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Monday was my first time at this new job, and the job was is called Texas Pure. It's where I sell Kirby's. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So notice my dad prayed for me to get this job, and they ended up calling me the next day. And they said, you know what? You dress professional. You was real professional. You talk professional. We like you. Out of 30 people, only 2 people got picked, and I was one of the 2 people. So you see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It was meant for me to, get on that job. No shade. And you even prayed for me to get on that job. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my first day on the job was literally Monday when all this shit went down. It was Monday, and I had went to my granny house to sell her a Kirby because I'm like, if I'm gonna do something, I want my granny to be the first one to see what's going on, and she asked to see what it looked like and all that, whatever. So I was over her house trying to sell her a Kirby, whatever the case may be. Notice this is my mom's birthday, so I can never forget this day because it's May 25th. That's my mom's birthday. My mama texted me, asked me when I'm gonna be home. I'm letting her know that I don't know when I'm gonna be home because everybody that work in sales work know that salesmen, they don't come home until like later at night.
Mm-hmm.
So especially if it's your first week, you ain't gonna come home till later at night. So I'm texting my mama throughout the day and letting her know I really don't know when I'm gonna be home, but I'm gonna be home soon. Whatever. My granny ended up taking a picture of me. You know how granny is. First day at the job, he dressing up professional here for my house. Send a quick little pic to my mama to let her know, you look here for my house. You see what I'm saying? You on some grandma shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And notice though, my granny and my dad, they both been having issues with each other, both on and off for like, I don't know, 15 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
since my mama never be married. So it's like my daddy always had an issue with my grandma. Like they always had an issue. Like I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. But they always had an issue with each other. So I guess when he saw that I was over at my granny house, notice this is my granny. So I'm gonna be up, I can come up her house whenever I want, and I'm 20 years old. So you can't tell me what to do. You see what I'm saying? But I'm literally at work while I'm over her house. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my granny ended up sending a picture to my mama. Like, look what he doing. I guess my mama ended up showing my daddy, and I guess that's really what he was mad about me being over my granny house.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that out because that day of what he said. So we're gonna get to that. So then, fast forward the long story. 9 o'clock come. I'm finna go home. My manager ended up taking me back to the office where we all meet up at. I ended up seeing my mama get in the car. Notice I had a great day. I'm laughing, smiling. I had a great day. No shade. It was the best day ever until I got in that car with my mama. And when I got in that car, you can feel spirits. I felt negative energy when I first stepped in that car, but I'm not gonna let that get me down. So then, when I got in the car, my mama asked me, she was like, "It's gonna be like this every day?" And I'm like, "What you mean?" She said, "It's gonna be like this every day, like, or is it gonna be like this just for the week?" When I said, "Mom, it's gonna be like this for the whole week because we just started, so it's our first week." So I said, after that, we'll be going back to Seekerville because it's our first week, so we have to stay out here and be out here all day. You see what I'm saying? After that, she proceeds to say, "Okay, that's cool, right? That should be over, right? The conversation
Mm-hmm.
should be over." Well, while me and my mama talking, he jump in the conversation talking about some, you disrespectful, you coming back late at night, like I can control when I come back, baby. I'm not the manager. I don't make the rules. Boo, if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at Cheyenne. You see what I'm saying? They don't have nothing to do with me. But he's talking about I'm disrespectful. I'm not her husband. I'm coming back any type of time of the night. I'm not her husband. I'm like, where's all this coming from? Telling me to shut up, everything. So me being how I am, I already know how my dad is, and I know arguing with him is like arguing with this wall. You're not going to get nothing out of it. So just shut the fuck up, eat your hamburger, bitch, and mind your motherfucking business. Because at this point, if you say anything, y'all be in this whole tussling. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
I was already getting to the point where if this nigga hit me, I'm gonna beat his ass because I turned 20. So I already told myself, like, if this nigga, I already made up in my mind when I was younger. When I turned 20 and he tried anything, I was already gonna get it.
Okay, so basically,
So
you had never gotten physical with him
ever.
until. Okay,
So
got
that
you.
the graduation was my first time ever putting my hands on my dad.
Okay, got you.
So
You can keep going.
yeah,
I just want to make that clear.
yeah,
Keep going.
baby, I always let him do that. But anyways, notice the office is 10 minutes away from our house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he literally argued with himself because I wasn't arguing with him. He literally argued with himself from the office all the way to our house. So for 10 minutes straight, he was just arguing with himself. Going
Mm-hmm.
back and forth. My mama sitting in the car driving. My sister in the back sleep, but she woke up because his loud mouth ass. So that's just what it is. So when we finally pulled up to the garage, you see what I'm saying? We pulled up to the garage. He kept asking me, "You don't got no remorse for what you did? You don't got no remorse? You just get in the car all happy?" So I'm like, I finally opened up my mouth and say something because he keep asking me the same question. I'm gonna answer you now because we at the house. You see what I'm saying? And I finally opened my mouth. I said, "Well, what you want me to be? Sad?" That shit took him off. Like that shit ticked him off. Like that nigga exploded just because I said that. Just that one thing. I haven't said nothing the whole ride. Just that one thing ticked him off. He gets out the car, come all the way up to the other side of the car, and try to swing on me. My mama literally had to jump out the front seat and block him from swinging on me. Notice I'm sitting in the car like this. I just pick up my phone and be like, you know what, 911. Because at this point, I've been working since 8 a.m. this morning, and I got home at 10 p.m. at night. So I don't
Mm.
have the strength to try to fight you. I don't got the strength, to tussle with you. I just want to go in the house, take a shower, and go to bed and get ready for work again tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm getting yelled at and getting told all this other shit. Getting told I'm gonna get beat up. Getting told if I come in the house I'm gonna get beat up and everything else. And all this extra shit because I went to work and I got off of work late, out of my control. You see what I'm saying? I can't control when I come and go to work. You see what I'm saying? So my mama like, okay, you know what? Don't call the police. I said, Mama, they already on the phone. And then the lady on the phone, she told me to close the door and wait till the police get there because they heard him in the background saying he gonna beat me up if I go in the house. So I couldn't even go in the house and get my things until the police got there. I couldn't go in the house and do anything. I had to sit in my mama car with the door locked, literally, until the
Mm.
police got there. So when the police finally got there, they see him being the aggressor, like how y'all saw on the graduation video.
Mm-hmm.
This is Monday though. This is Monday. They see him being the aggressor and doing all that shit. So they had to tell him to move back and let me go get my stuff because he said he kicking me out that day. So I end up calling my granny and letting her know, granny, come get me. You know what I'm saying? And they had to literally move him out the way and tell him, let me go get my stuff. And he kept telling the police, this is my house, whatever. Even arguing with the police, telling them that he was reaching for their guns, tried to play the black card. Talking about the police was reaching for the guns. The police never touched their guns. Like, it's just the narcissity for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like you can't control everybody around you. You even try to control the law. Like, it's crazy. Like, so it's like, I go in there and get my stuff. You know what I'm saying? My granny pull up in her Range Rover. Yeah, her. And, I walk to her car, all bougie and badgy because that's what the fuck I am. And, I put my shit in her car, and I get in the car. She asked me what's going on. I said, Granny, roll up your window because he talking shit about her, talking about some, yeah, you can go over there with her because he was over there with her anyway, talking about me. So that's why you mad? Because I was over my granny house. Like, he wasn't mad that I was at work. He was mad that I was at work over my granny house. And he had something against my granny. After
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? So now I'm
Right.
pushing to everybody. So after that, I guess I end up getting in the car, putting myself in the car, and this man end up saying to me, you bet not come to the graduation. I bet not see you at the graduation. I'm gonna beat your.
Oh Lord.
Oh, okay, Mr. Holy One. Okay, you want to fight me, Mr. Holy One? And the police literally told me, just get in the car. Just get in the car. Don't worry about him. They already knew who the aggressor was. They said we got everything on record. They had everything on record. The police had everything on record, boo. It was all written down on that paper, boo. Everything was recorded. So I get in the car to fast forward. Let's talk about the graduation. As we get into that part.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so skipping 3 days later, my mama called me and she asked me, am I coming to the graduation? I tell her no. And she said, "Why are you not coming to the graduation?" And I said, "Well, Mama, I'm not coming to the graduation." I said, "Mama, I'm not gonna tell you why." I said, "No reason. I just don't want to come," because she knew I didn't want to come. You heard what your husband the fuck said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not finna sit here and tell you that I don't want to come because he said this is gonna make it seem like I'm scary, and I'm not scared of nobody. I fear nobody but God. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So she was like, okay, she kept trying to get it out of me. I said, I'm not gonna say why. I'm just not coming. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I love you, son. And she just hung up the phone. So I guess she ended up calling my mama. I mean, calling my granny, trying to get my granny. And everybody know my granny can convince me to do anything. Right? It's go to church or anything. My granny can convince me to do it. Like no shade. So she ended up calling my granny and telling and telling her, talking about something. Okay, yeah, like, and my granny persuaded me to come. They already had my shirt. They bought my shirt. The shirt that I have, the most famous shirt ever. I still got it in the room. Anyway, yeah.
Oh my
Anyways, so,
God.
yeah, so they already had bought my shirt, my fan, and everything. Like they had my ticket ready for me to go. Yeah. So it was just like it didn't make no sense why I shouldn't come, right? But I still told my granny I'm gonna think about it. You see what I'm saying? But what made me really go is that my little brother ended up texting me himself and saying, "Dang, I really wanted you to come. Please come, please come." He wanted me to go to his graduation. He said, I said, if I go, somebody said, I didn't even tell my daddy said it. I said, somebody said they're gonna fight me if I go. He said, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Still show up. So the fact that my little brother told me to show up, I don't give a fuck if what you saying, what they saying. My little brother said he want me there, and he's the one graduating. So it
Right.
doesn't matter what nobody else is saying. You see what I'm saying? My
Mm-hmm.
brother to be there. So we pull up to the graduation, sparkled out. You know what I'm saying? And we get out the car. Me and my granny walking out the car, whatever. We get there. And we're trying to find them in the graduation, and it's packed. We see people standing up in the back. So for the people that saying you could have sat somewhere else, girl, no, you couldn't have sat nowhere else. Either you gonna stand up with them people in the back, or you gonna find a seat. Notice my granny told me to come on. I'm not gonna disrespect my granny and be like, no. She told me to
Mm-hmm.
come on, and why? And who am I hiding from? Who am I hiding from? The fuck? I'm here.
Right.
I'm here in the building. Hello, it's me. Hi, I don't mind. I'm here. So who am I hiding from? Y'all sound dumb. Really? So, anyways, I go down the stairs, what I'm saying, whatever, and I go down the stairs, doing what I can do. And after I go down the stairs, I see them sitting over there on the side. And notice I got my AirPods in playing gospel. Nobody like you, Lord. 'Cause a lot of people was asking me like, what song was he playing in his AirPods?
Not you listen to gospel.
Like, so y'all, I was actually listening to gospel. Nobody like you, Lord. Miranda Curtis is my favorite. I love her. Like, shout out to Miranda Curtis. I love her music. So I was listening to like Nobody Like You, Lord, and like calm my spirit down. Be in good spirits when I go here. So I see where they sitting at. They sitting like on the other side, all the way on the other side, literally. I
Mm-hmm.
just sit on the edge because I didn't want. My granny literally went over there where they was at, and I just sit on the edge because I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit over here. Not even on the same row, on the row after them, as y'all can see. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying. I try my best to do my best. Cause I want them to stand up. No shade. I even sat by somebody I didn't know, a whole Hispanic man. I didn't even know this man, but I sat by him just to keep the peace because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stay right here, keep my AirPods on, and watch my brother graduate and go home. You see what I'm saying? Notice everybody around me made me feel like it was gonna be safe, like I wasn't gonna get touched or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm coming with my guard down. I came with my guard down, not wanting to fight, not wanting to do none of that, because my mom and them tried to make it seem like he wasn't gonna do nothing to me. You see what I'm saying? So that's the real reason why I came too. Because if I would have known he was gonna do all that, maybe I would have stayed home. Maybe I would have. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sitting down. And y'all, all I know is I see a big ass shadow with a cowboy hat on come over to my like shoulder, and I look over and I'm like, "What's going on?" You know? And I see
Mm-hmm.
it's my dad, but I'm thinking he's gonna come over there and be like, "Okay, let's talk about what happened," or he's gonna be like, "Okay, you know what? We can like put ourselves, like a daddy, because we are at a graduation. It's like fighting at church. You see what I'm saying?"
Right.
So I'm like, I'm thinking he's gonna come over there and be like, you know what, we can put everything to the side and we'll talk about it after. Or something like that. A mature response. But he came over there talking about some get up. First response. That was his first response. It wasn't hey, it wasn't how you doing, it wasn't what's up. It was get up, let's go to the back. I took my AirPod, like, am I hearing this clearly? So I took my AirPod off. And he said, get up, let's go to the back. Like he wanted to fight. Really? So I'm like, no, I'm not going to the back. I can't. I said, no, I'm not going to the back. I came to watch my brother graduate. And he was like, get up, get up, get up. I kept saying the same thing. I'm not going to the back. I came to watch my brother graduate. I kept saying that. I said, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. He kept saying, get up, get up, get up. And then after he said it, he kept standing in my face for a while. Everybody looking at us now, so the attention is on us. You see what I'm saying? So now my adrenaline started pumping. And I just let him know then. I said, if you touch me, I'm going to work you. And I said that one time. I don't have to repeat myself. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when he started saying, okay, let's come outside then. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. He's the only one talking at that point. I already let it know. I already let it be known what I was going to do if you touch me. So I'm not going to argue with you in front of these people. I'm just going to sit here until you touch me. Because I wasn't getting up and going outside so you can fight me outside. You see what I'm saying? So either we're going to fight right here, either we're going to fight in here, or you're going to sit your ass down and be the 40-year-old man that you're supposed to be at your son's graduation. Which one you going to want to do? And he decided to be my age. So, since you decided to be my age, let me show you how 20-year-olds do. He decided to touch me and swing on me and try to put me in a chokehold like you usually do. But you don't know that I'm 20 now. I'm over that. You see, I outgrown that. You gotta get you something new, boo. So after that, girl, all I know is I blacked out. Like I didn't black out because I don't black out when I fight. I know what I'm doing. But it's like I got enraged. So I turned to somebody else. Like you woke up, you know, the person that I had dead for 2 years. Cause I used to be fighting all the time in school because of what I was going through at home. You see what I'm saying? So I used to just be hitting bitches because bitches say shut up. Or, you know, I just didn't take no disrespect. I was already getting disrespected at home. And I'm not going to take it outside of home. You see what I'm saying? So I used to be just beating hoes up all the time because of that. But now it was like to a certain point where, you know, I had stopped fighting. I wanted to go to college. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? So I had let everything go. I didn't fight for 2 years. And my first time fighting was my daddy. And I ain't going to lie. Y'all saw the video. I ain't finna go into detail. You know what I'm saying? I twirled them down the stairs, baby, like a fairy. No shade. And after I got done twirling down the stairs, I also, baby, walked away like the fairy I was because he was a fairy. Yeah, he was a fairy. No shade. And, you know, I blew him a kiss. And people was asking, what did I have in my hand? I had his hair in my hand. Yeah. Bye. Just like that. I had his hair in my hand because, baby, what you shouldn't have did, you shouldn't have put your finger in my face like you talking to a child when I'm 20 years old. Y'all gotta learn, either mind your business or get the business. Choose which one with me. And I sat there as pretty as I could, trying to be a respectful child like I always am. But you awoken up the demon. So, hey, hi, I don't mind. That's just what that was. So yeah.
would you say, because as you said earlier, that was your first time really like getting physical with him after all these years? That's your first time really just getting physical with him like that. Would you say that once he did this to you, because you had already warned him? I don't know what because listen, I feel like this happens with a lot of people or young people that have grown up with abuse, because your story sounds just like my mother's story.
That's crazy.
Before she put her hands on her mom, she was 17 and her mother kept punching her, and she said,
you got one mouth.
Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. What you gonna do? What you got it? And it was over.
You shouldn't have did that.
And so my question is, he woke up the beast that had been living in you for all those years that you pretty much just was being obedient and just let him put his hands on you. And at this point, you had listening to the Bible, and you had enough by this point, because you grown. You're not a child no more at this point. You grown, so it's like you're not gonna hit me as a grown man. It's one thing to hit me as a little boy, but you're not gonna hit me as a grown man. That's just you can't do that. So So you agree with me when I say that he woke up the beast? That was
Hello, I'm here.
so okay. So because we all saw the fight, child, I watched it so many times. But what I do want to know is
Mhm.
after the fight happened,
Yeah,
what happened after that?
and
Like,
that's what everybody want to know. Um,
yes, what happened after the fight?
so after the fight, y'all know I was thrown away. I walked to the back, whatever y'all seen that part. And when I got to the back, the officer was asking me what happened, and he knew what happened already. He just said, "Just sit right there, son." Like he was so, like he just knew I was like the non-aggressor. Like, but the principal ended up coming out, the one that don't like my little brother, and talking about something. We just want him gone, and I had to gather her together. You know, I had to read her right quick, read her rights right quick, and tell her, well, for before I have to go, he had to get his like, the police got to do their work before I just leave. So, boo, I
Mm-hmm.
had to gather her. I forgot what I said, but I ate her up, and she ended up walking away. Like, anyways, I chewed her up right quick. Gave her lunch and her breakfast. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back to the officer talking to him so I can get him back the story about what the fuck happened. Cause bitch, mind your bun business, bitch. Cause somebody was talking to you. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how that went. And then after that, they end up, putting me in handcuffs, walking me outside, putting me in the police car. I'm thinking I'm gonna go to jail, but then they tell me no, he's not going to jail because Officer McCoy knew who I was. My police, the police that I went to school with, he was
Mm-hmm.
there. He was like, no, like y'all, he got reports on this man. Crandall police had reports on this man. Like they all had reports on him. So they were like, no, he was literally like self-defending himself. So they said, we just gonna give you a trespass warrant. You can't come up here for 365 days. I'm not coming up there anyway because that was the last person I was gonna see graduate. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's cool. So after that, I ended up walking off and I got stuck at Walmart because they told me to go back to Walmart. I'm walking around. I went inside a 7-Eleven, got free drinks and everything. Like, I'm walking around. My granny was trying to find where I was, but I left my phone and everything with my granny. So I didn't have nothing on me. They wouldn't let me go back there and get nothing. So I was walking around for like 2 hours that same day. And then after that, my granny ended up finding out who or where I was. And when I found her, she said, "Boy, you viral. You all over the internet." That was like 2 hours in. That was 2 hours like into the fight. They said everybody was posting online. That's before it even got like how big it is now, like all over the world. But this is like
Mm-hmm.
when it was just like little, like it was like getting around Dallas and stuff like that. Well, after that, y'all, I didn't go home. Me and my granny went to Walmart, bought me a black shirt, and I went to Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And the family looking at me all sideways because they saw me fight my daddy. My mom like, you shouldn't have did that. So we all having a conversation, and in Cracker Barrel, like, and my big brother come up to me and be like, "You shouldn't have did that." Whatever I said, but I did it though. No shade. Oh well, no shade. If you was to come up to me, was to do what the fuck you said you were going to do, I probably would have punched your ass too. Like no shade. I was in the mode where I'm not taking no disrespect from you, your father, and nobody else. No shade. Like um. After that, I was just with my granny. Going from there, I was getting so much love over Instagram. 2 days after that, real life street stars end up DMing me, texting me, asking me to be on their, podcast, and I, accepted. You know what I'm saying? And I got on there and interviewed with them. After I interviewed with them, my life changed. And that's just how that went. But I can say Father Day came up. And I ended up texting my dad because my mother, that's my mother, my grandmother ended up texting me and telling me, you need to apologize to your dad. And we had that conversation inside the living room after she texted me. I'm like, what you mean? I need to apologize to my dad. She said, not for you, but not for him, but for you, because you got to get that off your chest. Like, you don't want to be around here holding nothing towards anybody. You see what I'm saying? And I agree with her. Like, so when I apologize to him, it's like a load just lifted up off of me. I could just let the situation go. That's why I can talk about it now and not really give a fuck. You see what I'm saying? Because at first, I'll talk about it in anger and I'll say shit I shouldn't say. You see what I'm saying? But now I can talk about it and, not really care about it. So after I ended up texting him, he texted me a week later, which was a few days ago. And he was like, I already forgave you and that's it. No apology, No, okay, I shouldn't have did this. So it was the same thing, the same narcissistic, the same you owe me an apology, I don't owe you shit. It's the same thing. But sometimes people just don't change. You gotta leave them where they at and keep on going. And I looked at that message, liked it, and I went on with life. Because look at me, I'm elevating off of beating your ass. Now let's move on.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Well, okay, so I'm gonna ask you one last question involving your dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just one more question because I don't want to stay on it because I know we got to go and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So you talked to you apologized to him. He didn't really give you no apology. He just said he already forgave you and that was it. And you realized that people are just not going to change. So could you say that that's pretty much the end? Like you don't see yourself having any form of communication with your dad anymore, or just
if me and my dad do end up communicating, it's gonna have to be on TV and it's gonna have to be paid. No shade, like it has to be in front of the world and where everybody can see what he had to say because he owes the world an apology. He owes the graduates an apology. I'm not the only person that you need to apologize to, boo. That's what I was trying to get in his head for his maturity to understand. Even if you don't apologize to me, you owe everybody else an apology. His problem is he think he can apologize to God and that's it. That's not how that works, boo. This is the real world. You owe them an apology. So if we was to reconcile, it would have to be on camera in front of, in the world where everybody can see. So you can give them their apology. Because I don't give a fuck about an apology. I'm moving on. But you owe them graduates and everybody else and the people who seen you do that an apology. I already gave mine.
and that's it. That's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, you did your part in the situation. Like you gave him an apology, even if he didn't deserve it. You gave him an apology, and that just speaks to your character and how you're moving forward in your own life. And to be honest, even if this is one thing that I have learned. And if you don't mind me telling you, I have gone no contact with most of my family members. Myself. Like it's not necessarily about abuse because my mother is no longer with my stepfather. They're divorced, so that ain't really got nothing to do with it. But on my father's side, and his family, I really only speak to him and maybe one sister. And the thing is, for me, it's like this. Just like you said, people are gonna be who they are. Regardless of what you want them to be, they're gonna be who they are, and it may not be the person you really want to fuck with. Like they're just gonna be who they are. Some people never change. But one thing that I have learned in this life is that we have to be content with knowing that there are apologies that we deserve, but we're never gonna receive them.
That's it right there. I'm so glad you said that.
We're never gonna receive those apologies, and I'm glad that you apologize to him, and even though he didn't apologize to you, it didn't even matter to you anymore because you already did what you needed to do. You got it off of you for your own mental, your own it like you had to do, and now I understand what people mean when they say forgiveness is for you and it's not for them. Because sometimes it is kind of difficult to walk around holding. Let me tell you one thing about me. I am one of the sweetest people in the world, but I will hold a fucking grudge. And sometimes once you let that grudge go, it don't even mean that I'm trying to fuck with you again. Because I can let go of a grudge and I can forgive you and still not fuck with you at the same time. But I ain't walking around with all that hate for you no more. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. So I'm glad that you got that, and you know that. So there's some apologies that you're never going to receive. Like just like with your dad, he's never going to apologize to you. Just like with my grandmother, she's never going to apologize to my mom for beating her as a kid. Some parents are never going to apologize, and that's mainly because they don't think they have to, because they're the parents, so they don't think they have to. But we also have to understand this too. They're not going to go to sleep at night in peace, because at the end of the day, they still got to deal with that.
Definitely.
They still got to deal with that. So whether you
That's
speak to them anymore or not, if
uh,
you don't speak to them anymore, I've seen this time and time again. I heard these different stories from many people. There are people that had parents that treated them like shit, and the main person that they treated, the main kid that they treated like shit, when they was on their deathbed, that's the one they had that they needed.
yep.
That's the one they needed. So I'm just happy that you see it in that way.
No,
So before we get up out of here, I do want to ask you this. Um, what is next for Double D? If you can talk about it. What's next for Double D?
all I'm gonna say is stay tuned.
So this ain't gonna be the last time we see you.
This is not gonna be the last time y'all see me. Just like y'all staying tuned for Scotty's show and his reality TV show and all that extra stuff. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this before we go, because I
Yeah.
feel like this is one of the things, and it's just a part of who I am. It's like a couple of months ago, I remember doing this with Elijah, Keisha
Yeah.
Cole's youngest brother. I interviewed him, and he had a story to tell, and I relate to both of you guys. And like I said before, I just, even though this is an interview and stuff, and that, you know, we follow each other on Instagram now, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need any advice on anything, if you need to talk about anything. I'm always willing and able to listen and give you whatever brotherly advice you may need. I'm always here. So just because we did an interview, it don't mean that has to be the end of any communication. Because I always check in. I do it with Elijah all the time. Whenever I see him post something, I check in and I be like, you know, what's good? What's going on? How you doing? You good? Whatever. Like, I don't do it all the time, but I do it when I can. So I just want you to know that I will always be here if you need anything.
Thank you, Scott. It mean a lot. And I do want to say something actually. I want to say shout out to Club 107, y'all. I will Club 107. I will be posting. I will give y'all that. That's the only thing I will give y'all. Because I want y'all to be out there. You know, have in Atlanta, down in Atlanta, come to Club 107. I will be there. Yeah. That's the gag.
All right, well, Double D, I want to tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you got coming up, everything that you're doing. I'm looking forward to seeing you soar. And even though the situation that you went through was perceived as a negative, it turned into a positive for you. So shout outs to you, and you are free. You're free to go. Thank you for coming on the show. No problem. You guys, that was Double D. I'm glad that he chose my show to talk about his, you know, tell his story and do what he do. You know, it's you know, I have a soft spot for guys like Double D. I really do. You know, regardless of what he did, it's just something about him that I feel that I see a lot of my younger self in him. Like like some people might look at this interview and be like, oh, he's so childish or whatever. But like people might look at it and say that, but you got to remember he's 20 years old. So I see that old Scotty in him. Like I see that old Scotty in him. And that's why I can relate. And that's why I can sit here and have a conversation with him. And I meant everything that I said. Now, y'all got to understand, I am that type of guy. I don't give a fuck. I meant everything that I said. Like, if I could be some kind of mentor to him as he grows and as he elevates, I would definitely be that for him. Like, I don't have no qualms, no issues with doing it at all. So that's pretty much the gist of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. I really do. I hope you guys liked what you saw. And because I enjoy doing it, and this is probably officially one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done, because he got a spirit about him that I like and that I want to see win. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm appreciative of you guys watching, and I'm glad that you guys tuned in, and I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow. That being said, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and I am signing is out. Bye, y'all.